I went pretty hard for like the first probably 2 or 3 years of YouTube,
Yeah.
um, where my social life was like minimal is a nice way of saying it. I went out maybe like once every month and a half to go hang
Yeah.
out with actual people, and I didn't really like the way that made me feel in the long run. So now these days I prioritize making time to like I plan like trips, like a month and a half out, so I give myself something to look for, and like
Right.
there's a whole way to like trick yourself or incentivize yourself into doing shit.
Yeah. Well, now the football season's rolling around again. I usually go to my buddy's house most Sundays because he has like direct TV and he brings over
Oh,
like four TVs and whatever.
that's
And
good.
there's a whole bunch of people there pretty much every week. So that'll be nice. But yeah, I'm still in that like let's work really hard on YouTube and then burn out in like 2 years kind of
Yeah,
mode, just
I can
like
tell
while
you
the
all
money's
about
good.
that.
Yeah.
I can tell you all about that, friend. But that's not today's video.
No,
Today's
it's
video,
not.
we're talking about Destiny 2.0, and I'm here with
Woo!
Datto Does Destiny. What's your real name?
Stefan.
Stefan. I knew that. I actually met you. We're going to the speaker, right? I don't do
Yeah.
intros for videos. The intro is
Yeah,
us
neither do I.
talking about timing for social life stuff. All right,
Yeah.
so basically, guys, this is Datto. He's been doing videos
Hello.
for quite a while, since before Destiny. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, jump in at any point here, but you started making videos exclusively for Destiny on this channel, and you found a pretty good pedigree, or a pretty good recipe for success.
Right, exactly.
And then here you are, and we're about to start year two, and it feels like, doesn't it feel like it's getting even more hype than before? Like
Yeah.
it feels like this game should have been like, a lot of people predicted this game would have been dying off by now, but it really,
I mean,
it really does feel
I'm
like
honestly pretty surprised. Like, I thought, back in November, I was just gonna be like, all right, well, game didn't seem to be getting great reviews. I think it's probably gonna die off on YouTube, and just it's been getting bigger, and I think
Yeah.
Taken King is fixing a lot of problems that people had,
Well,
and it's
yeah.
just steadily getting better.
Well, speaking of which, so pr- um, preceding the release of the Taken King, they've dropped patch 2.0 here. And what I
Right.
wanted to do was get our resident expert here, being you, to come in and take me through the tower. Just tell me a little bit about all the changes, because I hopped on a couple days ago. I gotta be honest, I was a little overwhelmed by all the changes, and it made me want to put the controller down and just play Metal Gear. That might be just like laziness, but that's just how I felt. So
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that changed. So with the speaker, not too many things. They moved his. Oh, I got him out of light. They moved all of his like class items and emblems and stuff over to Ava Levante, who's the shader lady who we'll take a look at next.
okay.
Material exchange still exists. You can
Yep.
still exchange all of your materials. You just have to have the materials in your inventory.
Yep.
He also sells ghosts now,
Yep.
which is cool.
And each ghost have the ghosts that he sells have like passives, which are kind of cool. They never had that before, and
Yeah.
they add to your defense rating now.
Right.
So-
So ghosts actually matter now
Yeah.
in terms of your light level, which is a whole other thing we'll talk about in a little bit.
Which is really cool. I like that. I really like that
I-
they took steps to make these little minor characters more relevant to the game.
Yeah. So these ghosts, they're probably going to be good for leveling up just as a little starter ghost, but I imagine we'll find much better stuff out in the wild. But this is good for, starting out, pick one up before you go leveling so you can boost your light levels.
So then, what's her name down here?
Ava Levante, so she's like the shader lady
Right.
and emblem lady.
And so she
But
has all the
before-
class items now.
Well, not necessarily. These two, we've been calling them iPhones, right here, have all of your shaders and emblems. So we'll start at the emblem one.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah. So these are the collection kiosks that they added to the
Oh.
game. So now, if you get any emblem starting now, you'll have it in this kind of inventory that you can just come here and rip it right out if you want it. So this way, it's
Oh,
not clogging all your inventory space.
That's really cool. I
Yeah.
like that.
And so it lets collectors go actually collect all the emblems if they really want to, which I like because I like collecting stuff.
And then
But otherwise,
look at all these shaders. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
it's same thing for the shaders. Same exact thing. You can buy all the shaders, and then if you're running out of inventory space, you can just delete it out of your inventory, come back here, and you can pick it up later.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So then Ava Levante just sells, more emblems and stuff. She sells all the speaker emblems.
Right.
And still sells kind of like the same shaders. There's been a couple of new shaders that have popped up, but if you're a collector, keep an eye on Ava Levante now, and you can start scooping up all those emblems and shaders and stuff.
Some of these shaders look really cool. Like, oh, look at that. Blue marble looks incredible. It's
Yeah.
like blue, green, and white. A little bit of red too. All right, let's move on to because otherwise, this will be a 45-minute video here.
Yeah.
That's a faction guy down there. We already know about
Yeah.
him. So the factions now you have to choose between one of them, right? And
Right.
It levels up both your faction and your XP at the same time now. They don't separate the two. Is that correct?
It basically, if you do an activity that normally grants Vanguard reputation, instead of getting just your faction reputation, you'll get both now. So
Right.
if you do like the Nightfall, you get Vanguard and whatever you're pledged to.
Right.
You can only pledge once per week. I don't know if you have to go like re-pledge every week.
Whoa,
Not
hey.
too sure about that.
Hey, look at Zur. Hey, what's up, pal? I haven't even seen what he has yet.
Oh yeah, kind of an week.
Oh, I don't have Celestial Nighthawk!
Grab that, because
Nah!
year 2.
I'm grabbing it. It's
It's
mine.
year 2.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, it even showed up in the feed.
Oh, that is fantastic. All right, and then I should probably grab this chest piece, right? Because I don't have. Yeah, I should grab that. Because I don't have a lot of chest pieces for my Titan or my my Warlock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save those motes though. Okay, sorry. So we got our 2 Crucible guys here. Is anything different from them?
Not too much.
Okay.
I think they might like sell ghost shells now. But
Okay.
otherwise, no, nothing's changed. The only thing that will change is that the Crucible Quartermaster will no longer have the material exchange, but the Vanguard Quartermaster will, because of all like the legendary mark changes. In short, legendary marks are replacing Vanguard and
Right.
Crucible marks. They're no longer separate. They're just one.
Right.
The most you can hold is 200, but there is no weekly cap anymore, so you can earn as many as you want in a week,
That's awesome.
which is great.
So what happens to your Crucible and Vanguard marks? We should spend those before they go away, kind of thing?
Well, you can spend them now if you want, or on the 15th, at a rate of 50 to 1, they're going to be converted into commendations, which will turn, or
yeah.
if you use a commendation, they turn into like 250 rep, I want to say, for whatever faction.
Okay.
So you can either save them or you can buy materials. Doesn't
Okay.
really matter.
All this looks pretty similar.
Yeah, all this stuff is similar. So we have the exotic armor and weapon kiosks over here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay,
Yep.
what?
Right here, right here. So this is armor.
Exotic armor blueprints.
Yes. So basically, any exotic that you earned in year 1 will be available at this blueprint vendor. So if you want, you can just come back and pick it up again if you really want to. So if you go over to like collection 2, that's all the year 1 stuff, and it'll show you which stuff you've gotten and which stuff you haven't. And then if we go over to collection 1, that's all the year 2 stuff. Now, if you got any
What the
year 1 items that are going to be in year 2, they will automatically show up. So like, for example, I have the Don't Touch Me's. Those are a year 1 item, and they're also a year 2 item, so they show up in your collection. And it costs 125 legendary marks to grab it out of the vendor.
Okay. All right. All right.
And that's basically the same concept for the weapons.
I can get behind that. Yep.
Yeah, so if you got it in year 1 and it's coming with us in year 2, you can just grab it from the vendor. And real quick over here, we have the Abandoned Quest vendor. This is just basically like, if you have a whole bunch of them now, it's because they revamped the entire leveling system. Or not leveling system, but like leveling progression. And it's no longer just like go to a story mission. It's, do all these lengthy quests. It just makes the whole thing flow better.
Yeah,
So
it seems like a little bit more streamlined and organized.
Yeah,
So you
it's
don't have to
way
run to 5
more
different people
streamlined.
to do one quest or something.
Right, and
I
it
like
just
that.
makes you feel like there's more stuff to do. So if you had a fully level character, and you go over there and you're like, what's all these quests? That's basically just, if you want to do all those quests, you'd be playing the entire game over again in the new system. Also, Eris is down here now. Yeah.
And doing things like Prison of Elders and Crota Zen gives her rep, or not Prison of Elders, just Crota, right?
Crota, I don't think Crota Zen will give you any reputation with her. I think all the new Dreadnought stuff will.
Why is she rank 4 now? Yesterday she was rank 3. I hadn't ranked her up.
Well, she once Taken King hits, you're going to be able to level her up above 4. I know you can get her to at least 5. I don't know if she's like an infinitely, or if she doesn't have a cap anymore, but I know you can get her to 5 now.
Then you got these 5 guns over here that you rank up
Right.
And you get some sort of special packages when you rank them up.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, these are the field test weapons. The gunsmith now has reputation.
Uh-huh.
So you do these field test weapons, which are basically bounties built into weapons.
Right. Get
Using
kills
the
in either
crucible.
PvE or PvP.
Right.
Yeah.
So high-ranking enemies are like majors, double kills, precision headshots, whatever. So you
Right.
do those, and you get reputation with the gunsmith. You don't have to turn the gun back into the gunsmith. You just automatically get it as soon as you're done, and then you can do whatever you want with the weapons. You can hold on to them. You can dismantle them. You can't put them in the vault just so because they didn't want like people trading over guns to like power level.
Yeah.
Your gunsmith reputation. But then every Wednesday you're going to have what's called Arms Day. Now, if you're rank 1 or higher, you're going to be able to pick Arms Day packages, which is basically, a series of options that it's like, hey, you can, like this week we have a Suros Scout Rifle, an Omalon Fusion Rifle, Hake Sniper,
Right.
and you can pick among them. And you can, if you're rank 1, I think you can only pick 1. If you're 2, you can pick 2, 3, and higher, etc., etc.
Just kicked me out of the game. I'm not sure why. Let me see.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let me see if I can join off you. Okay.
So every Wednesday, you'll be able to pick one of those packages or multiple if you're a certain rank, and then the following Wednesday you'll end up with that gun in your inventory. It'll come with random bonuses, but if you pick the Suros Scout Rifle, you'll get a Suros Scout Rifle.
Some of these new bonuses are really cool though. Like are really cool too, I should say.
Yeah.
Like one of the new perks I saw on the auto rifle some auto rifle was reload faster when you're the last person left on the team, which I thought was really, really interesting that they're going that meta with it. So like if you're playing Trials of Osiris, whenever it comes back a year from now or whatever, and you're the last one alive, then these little perks activate.
Right. I really like how they're going more horizontal in power with the bonuses. It's not just like a flat increase to something. So it's like it gives you more opportunity to kind of pick whatever you want to actually pick, as opposed to just feeling forced.
So before I can talk a little bit about this because I already know
Sure.
this, but they made the bounties like so much easier to complete now. I can get done with all my PvP bounties in 2 games.
Yeah.
Because normally the only reason I say 2 games is because there normally are a couple bounties like these 2 that I'm looking at, which requires you to accomplish something twice. Oh, I guess that wasn't what I was looking for, but like this one today, for example, you could finish all these in 1 match, and and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if it's the same on PS4, but the Vanguard bounties are a little bugged too because I'm getting credit for Vanguard bounties in PvP. On Xbox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for some of them.
I have not noticed that. Maybe. I mean, it could be a thing. I haven't bothered to try.
Then we've got our familiar Raul here.
Yeah.
Nothing too different here, right?
Well, in the Taken King, obviously he doesn't have any stuff right now, but in the Taken King, he's going to have random legendary engrams that you can pick up for a certain amount of legendary marks. So it's just like a nice way, like, if you're mark capped and you have everything that you could imagine that you'd ever want, you can just come to the Cryptarch, buy a few engrams if you want, and maybe use that as fodder for infusion or materials or, whatever you want to use them for. Just a way to dump extra marks so you don't waste them.
So moving over to the hangar, there's not too much more to talk about here because we have a couple factions, and then we have our Vanguard vendor over here, and then fill me in if I'm wrong, but I think this side is pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. We can go over here to the ship vendor, which is basically the same thing as the emotes and the exotics and no, sorry, not the emotes, the shaders and emblems and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
look at this ship. Wow.
basically the same concept. Yeah, show the raid ship if you can.
Fatal Vision, is that the raid ship? Which one is the raid ship?
The raid ship is in the raid tab, the 5th one over.
I don't see a raid tab. Oh, there it is.
On the bottom.
I see a 4th one over. Oh, are you talking about Agonarch?
Yeah, carve.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that thing looks incredible. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like it has like a nervous system in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's pretty badass. But that's the same thing. Works the same way. We can come down here real quick. Vanguard Quartermaster is going to have your material exchange now.
Okay.
That's where it's just going to be now. Instead of both vendors, it's just one. We can come down here.
Where are we? Oh, there you are.
Downstairs.
Yep.
And here are your emotes. So right now you
Oh.
probably only have the one unless you
Yeah.
digitally ordered the collector's edition,
No.
in which case your emotes will reside here.
Oh, you can play music. Was this there before?
That has been there for a little while, but you can play music if you want.
Um. Okay, great. And I have so I have one more question for you because this is something that still confuses me and I feel like a complete moron. But can you please now explain to me the difference between light and level? Like
Yes.
doesn't the level isn't that arbitrary at this point? Because isn't the light really the only thing that matters?
Once you hit level 40, the only thing that matters is light. So they unlinked light and level, which
Right.
is a great move. So once you hit level 40, you're going to want to increase your light. And your light score is an average of your attack and defense values across all of your weapons and your
Right.
ghosts, your class item. By
Yep.
the way, your class item has defense values now,
Yep.
and all that stuff. So that's basically going to determine how effective you are in combat, and it's basically going to determine how strong you are.
So when you run into an enemy, is it going to show their light level, or is it just going to show that? Because I'm wondering, like, you can be 34 and have a light level of 160, but that doesn't mean that you should be fighting a level 34 enemy. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so I'm wondering
So-
how they're gonna balance that.
Yeah, so basically, enemies are still going to show up as their level, but activities are going to have recommended light levels. So, right now, I think all like the story missions like 240 light level, just because they're like balancing it for Taken King. So right now, like all the normal mode stuff, or like all the year one stuff, is still in terms of level. But once we hop over to Taken King, a lot of it will turn over to light. So let's say, just for example, Court of Oryx. Tier 1 Court of Oryx requires 190 light, or is rather recommended at 190 light. So if you're 190 light, fighting a 190 light recommended enemy,
Right.
You're going to deal full damage. If you're like 188, it's not going to be as big of a gap versus something like 33 to 34.
Right. Yeah. Just mathematically, that works out.
Yeah, they're making it much more ramp-like in power, much more steady gains as opposed to these gigantic staircase power gains, which is great.
Okay. Cool.
But that also means that your level itself, level 40, does not really matter that much when fighting enemies. What matters is your light. So if you're a 34 fighting a 35, right now you suffer a massive damage penalty. If you're a 40 fighting a 41 or a 42, what matters is your light. So basically, if you're fighting a 41 or a 42, that's just kind of to signify or symbolize, like, hey, you're doing some harder stuff, but it doesn't actually mean anything. What matters is your light versus their light.
Right. Okay, great. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to explain
Sure
this to
thing,
me. It really did help because I was getting kind of frustrated. I love video games like so much, and there's so many good games that are coming out this year. I didn't feel like that was the case last year. So
Yeah.
Destiny, it was a lot easier for it to take up, a great deal of my time. But now, like, Metal Gear just came out, and I
Yeah.
really love that game. Have you played that yet?
I haven't played yet.
Oh,
I've been
man, that's
so busy, but I would get in all the time you can now with that before Taken King comes out for sure.
The thing is I feel like I'm gonna make time for MGS. Like, that's a video for another day, but
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming on, man. If you ever want to hop on and chat again, then just then hit me up. And,
Sure thing.
We'll make video babies together. Thanks a lot, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
So yeah.